In this video, we are going to talk about while loop and different flavors. So for our while loop, the first thing we need to do, we need to go ahead and initialize a value. Okay, so say var I, that's for index, is equal to 0. And then we use the keyword while, you can say I is less than 5, put brackets there, and we go ahead and say I plus plus. Now here, what we're gonna do, we're gonna say print, let's say it ran, and then let's append the index, the I in this case, times. All right, so there we go. These are our syntax. So we have our initialization here, right? I is 0, and then we say while I is less than 5, we want this to run. And as it runs, we are incrementing our index, our I. Okay, as of last week, Xcode was updated. So previously we had a beta Xcode. In fact, if you go back to the videos where I show you how to install Xcode, I said specifically that we had to install the beta Xcode. Well, turns out that now they have a full version running, which is this that I'm running right now. And you can see here, if you go at top and say Xcode, click that and say about, you'll notice here it's not a 6 anymore, it's a 7.0.0, which means it's the full Xcode, production Xcode. And you notice there's no beta or anything here in the icon. Always update your Xcode as Apple release new updates. Now with that, you notice here at the bottom, I opened this up on purpose. With that, you can see now we have a console here at the bottom, right? So we can see here, this is where when we run our application, when we run this code here, this is where it's showing everything here. If you hover over at the top here, as you can see, the cursor changes here. So you can actually drag to close it, snap it down there, or open it like this. All right, so now we have that. So there it is, you have our while loop here. So essentially it goes ahead and runs until this condition here is not true, doesn't hold true anymore. The next variation of a while loop is called repeat while. So in order to create a repeat while loop, you just go say repeat, and notice there's 2 repeats here. So we want the second option here, which is lowercase, right? We're not going to be using the repeat with uppercase here. So the second one there, say enter. And our repeat while, you go ahead and say, put at the bottom here, while, right? Parentheses. And before we go anywhere, we're going to go ahead and say var index is equal to 0. That's our initialization. And here we can go and say index, while index is less than 5. That's when inside now we are able to go ahead, index plus plus, and now we can say print running. And we're going to append our index here so we can actually see the values. Okay, so running 0 now, running 1 now, 2, 3, and 4. Now, notice something very interesting here. The repeat while will always run at least once before it goes ahead and checks for our condition. So if you're writing a program that you want to make sure that this, what's inside here, what's inside of our body, runs at least one time before it checks condition, then you should use the repeat while. Again, as usually, just practice this concept here on your own. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask them in the discussion area, and I'll be more than happy to help. All right, so I'll see you in the next video.